Hello, bon dia. Welcome to Paul Church and Bonie Lewokiwicz's home in Berkeley, California. My husband Paul also uses a wheelchair, and the rest of the house pretty much has been set up for non-disabled people, and we're tired of that. So we wanted a space where we could get around easy and not have to bump into each other, and so that's why we're gonna leave it pretty free, not this empty, but we're gonna have a space in front of the window here with a table that we can sit at and read in the morning or whatever we want to do. And then the other room that we have is going to be our bedroom. And what we did special in here is we put a plug in the ceiling above the bed so that if it ever came to be that we couldn't get in and out of bed anymore by ourselves, we could install a lift, a mechanical lift that would be able to help us. And that way we could avoid having people have to help us for that as well. And then this is going to be, well, it is Paul's bathroom. This is a roll-in shower, so there's level entry into the shower. There's no bathtub. I think the success to a long-lasting marriage is 2 different bathrooms. Well, this room is kind of trashed, but it's just going to be a spare bedroom. I have my home office. This is also my workout room. This is a hand ergometer, and it's a way to get some aerobic activity as well as some strength, because you can increase the tension and it's harder to push. And so when it's not very nice weather out, I can do this instead of going for a bike ride. So this is another way to get some exercise. And I can actually sit here and look over at my computer and watch a movie, and that way I'm distracted while I'm working out. This is my 15-cent adaptive tool and has saved me in many instances. I keep one in my van, I travel with one in my suitcase, and I keep one in every room, and it helps me reach things that I can't get to. And in hotel rooms, if the quilt is tucked in too tight to the bed, I can hook it and pull it down. If given the right environment, someone can be very independent, and that's the key. Doesn't necessarily have to mean that you can do everything by yourself, but you have that option to if you needed to. So let's go to the kitchen. So really the only thing we've done is we keep everything low. We don't really use the upper cabinets. And the only other adaptation I made is I put in a lower cooktop stove, so I can roll right under and cook at the stove and reach everything. I just bought this washing machine. It's more energy efficient, but it also happens to be more wheelchair friendly because all the buttons are in the front. You don't have to reach way in the back anymore. And it's something called universal design because it works for everyone. It wasn't specifically designed for people with mobility disabilities, but everyone has an easier time reaching something right in front of them than having to bend over and reach down. It's right at a good height for everyone. Our favorite part of and it overlooks what will eventually be our garden area, and we'll have some raised flower and vegetable beds that will be easy to get to for us. So we're cleaning it up right now. And we'll have everything on a drip system so that you just push a button and it waters everything. You don't have to go around hand watering. It's more energy efficient. We like to use a lot of California natives. This is a matahia poppy, and we also call it a fried eggplant because it looks like a large fried egg. And we try and get plants that will attract the birds and the butterflies. At night we like to stargaze when it's not foggy out. And this is a great telescope that my husband knows how to operate. And one of my favorite things to look at is Saturn and you can see all the rings around Saturn. It's really just like the pictures in the book.
I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan, where we get lots of snow. And when I was 15, I broke my neck in a dune buggy accident and decided right then that snow and wheelchairs don't go together. So after I graduated high school, I moved to California, where it's sunny all the time. Not really, and at least not Northern California. And when I moved to Berkeley, it wasn't intentionally to move to Berkeley because there was a lot of disability, accessibility, things happening in culture. It was more because this is where the internship that I was doing from school was located. But once I found out how easy it was to get around Berkeley, then I was really drawn here. I ended up staying in Berkeley and working for the Bay Area Outreach Recreation Program. And I would say that for the first 10 years of my life, I didn't really identify with having a disability and needing that disability culture, and it wasn't something that I intentionally sought out, but once I was a part of it, it made so much sense, and I've gotten a lot of support, and it's been a big career for me.
So we're riding the elevator down at Berkeley. So once we get to the platform level, we can run our ticket through the machine, and then we'll take another elevator to get to the train. So it's very confusing if you don't know the system, because normally you would put your ticket in and go through the gate. But the elevators are outside the gate area, so you can't go in, and you want to back out and go to the elevator. Before I come down here, I usually check on the board. They have a little screen that tells you what elevators are out. Very important. It's not a guarantee that the elevator will be working once you get there. But then when I get down on the train, because I know the locations of all the elevators, they're always at the, well, not always anymore, usually at the ends. I look for how many car train it's going to be up on the board. It displays. And if it's going to be a 10-car train, I know at my destination, the elevator's at the back of the train, so I take the last car. So if it's a 5-car train, I know I have to move up to any one of these black squares, because that's where the doors open, and I'll still stay towards the last car to get out, because I know that my elevator's at the last. That's very confusing, I know. We're on Market Street now, and it's very crowded, and the light's going to change, so I'm going to run. So for research for the access guide that I did for San Francisco, part of what I had to do was go around to every place and visit them and check for accessibility, because you can't take people's word for it. You need to check it out for yourself. And so we're about to enter into the Yerba Buena Gardens district area, where there's about 9 different museums within a few square blocks. And we're right now in front of the Contemporary Jewish Museum, which is the newest museum, and actually didn't make it into the latest guide because it wasn't even built yet. But I have been here. It's a completely accessible building. They have elevators and all the bathrooms.
So now we're in front of the Museum of Modern Art, one of the most popular museums in San Francisco. And it, as well, is very accessible. And they have wheelchairs available for people that don't have their own, or maybe an elderly person that can't walk distances. And so you can loan those for free. And they have a great store. And a great restaurant. So now we're in at the Children's Museum. It's called Zeum, and it's a different kind of museum because they don't really have displays. It's more interactive, and kids can learn how to make videos, and they can create plays, and it's kind of hands-on science museum, and they have performances that take place here, and then there's outside another play area for the kids, and a carousel that kids can ride on, so it's a real fun museum. You can really spend a whole day in this whole Yerba Buena Gardens district, and lots of places to eat. I should also mention that one day a month, most of the museums have a free admission day, and you just have to check each individual website for the museums to find out which day there is, but it's generally like the first week of the month. So here we are at the end of a fun day in San Francisco, and I think anyone that comes to this city will have a fabulous time, whether you have a disability or not. It's a very friendly place to be, and I had a great time with Programa Especial. And if you do come to San Francisco, you definitely use my website. The website is www.accessnca.org. And there's another book that I have written called A Wheelchair Rider's Guide to San Francisco Bay and the nearby coast, and it's more about the outdoors and accessible trails. And that also can be gotten from our website. And obrigada!